chest. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on to someday find that vintage love. I kept on looking, but everyone's such a bore. And out of a sudden, it's the coffee company. The Santa's doing his rounds, fans of Lincolns and Browns. Don't be sorry if you missed it. Kit Kat is a biscuit. It's the coffee company. It's the coffee company. It's the coffee company. Oh yeah, baby, smell the brew. It's the coffee company, and it's shipping to you. Coffee, coffee company, yeah. Oh yeah, it's the coffee company. It's the coffee company. Coffee,
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to your place of chill that is the Coffee Company. We're back. It's the cough. It's the Daigle. It's another weekday stream. And we're just going to have a chill. There are some crazy things happening, but we're going to be chill. But Aki, happy new week. What's happening?
Happy New Week. There's a
Yes.
new one. We'll go with it. We'll go with it.
Happy new week.
Happy New Week. Yeah. All the festivities are
You
over.
can't deny it, can you? It is a new week.
Let's create a new thing like all the card companies do. Let's create Happy New Week Day every Monday.
You could even say Happy New Day if we wanted to.
Oh, now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it. Now you're pushing it. But yeah, no, all is good. All is good apart from football. All is good.
Let's have a look. There are 9 of you in the audience. Don't be shy, everyone. I know there are loads of my viewers watching another stream that's about to end at the moment. So thank you to everyone that has come in and tuned in. But we're going to have a chill chat today. I'm going skiing in 2 days, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I'm very much going to...
Oh, fantastic, Tom.
We have Ian's in the house, YouTube member. Good to see you. Morning all. Snowy day for me. 8.5 inches, 21.6 centimeters, and more on the way. More on the way. We have the number 1 Agon bar in the world. We have Mr. Vindaloo. Good to see you. We have Tom81, YouTube member. Big up, buddy. Looks like I've got a job to... Absolutely. That's amazing. That's what we need to see. That's what we need to see. We have Paul Clark is in the house saying, afternoon, fellas. Hopefully you're all well. Has Bobby K escaped the Savern perch? Yes, he has. And he got through with flying colours. And we got, it's Bobby K. It's Bobby K. Good to see you. Good to see you. Woo!
Hi,
good to see you. And there is, of course, a Savarade. Bella!
Bella.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Savarade. Thank you. Thank you to Sava for sending the viewers. If you haven't subscribed to us already, please subscribe to the Coffee Company. I do help out a few people in the Spurs YouTube community. And we can have a chat. We've got me and Daigle here. Let's have a lovely chat. We have 94 in the audience, so please like. 94 so far. We have big up. Good to see you, Bella. Good to see you. We have Stu Boy, YouTube member. Good to see you, and everyone in chat. We have Spurs Kings TV. Big love, Marlon. Big love, mate. Hopefully you're well. Hopefully you're well. We have Fiona's in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Charge. Yes.
Oh, the dipstick's here.
Big up. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Raw tonight? I'm very excited. I'm very excited indeed. Great stuff. Great stuff. And we got one love, Daniel Sound. Oh, if you smell. Good to see you. Hi, Leo. Fist bump. Fist bump. I guess we got to talk about football, don't we, Aki? We got all these people coming over from a football show. We've got to talk about football.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, for God's sake. Yes? We have Arm of Graham here. Arm of Graham is in the studio to give us the what's it called? To give us the lowdown. Esse loco, Savarade. It was a great show. We've united the fan base behind Ange and Enoch. Blessed be the chosen one, Ange. Football in heaven awaits. Kuma's boiling the piss again. The Kuma's boiling the piss. Yes. Yes, we've seen it. Please help me get to 1,000. We've got 100 people in the audience. Thank you so much. Everyone, give us a subscribe. It's coming done tonight. All the people that don't want to talk about football have left. But hopefully everyone's... Aki, what do you want to talk about?
Well, if we're going to talk football, there's only one way to start, isn't there? There's only one place to start, and it's with the manager.
Yeah.
Who is very much split in opinion.
Yeah, I have seen that
by a lot, and I'll say I've said it before, and I have defended this man as much as I can. I've stood by him for months and months and months, saying he'll get the job done. Let's get through this. I still stand by. I still stand by what Bobby Kay was saying, that whoever comes in, they're fucked already. They're screwed. They're screwed, but it's time to let someone else be screwed.
Yeah.
Forget this on it. These results are just unacceptable. The stats building up to show where he is.
We will get a lot of scrutiny, Aki, because we are, as well as Mr. Graham. Although I think Graham is retired and he's letting the young boys do it. We have got a lot of hate for our stance on the ownership of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yep.
And one of the things people that are Enoch in has always told us, do you want Spurs when Spurs were in the 90s? This manager is worse than Spurs in the 90s. Statistically, factually and statistically, he is worse than the worst Spurs manager in the 90s. Oasis are back. It's the 90s. The 90s are back, Graham. The 90s are back.
I'm sick and tired of having to go back to the 90s. In the 90s, we won 2 cups in that decade. People, it doesn't matter what you say. I'm sick and tired. Listen, I've said I will never ever change my stance on the board ever. No matter what they do, I will never ever change because I don't believe a word they say. But one of the things that I would say during that time, I got to see Paul Gascoigne on a football pitch.
Yep.
I got to see some quality players.
And
one thing I never ever doubted when I had my season ticket for 5 years of the 90s and 5 years of the 2000s is no matter how bad we were, I never ever ever left that ground thinking, do you know what? They didn't try and give everything. They left everything on the pitch. I also saw managers that would change for certain games or if injuries were ravaged, they were like, right, I can't do this. I need to find a way to field a team that can do things. But I will say, and I've said it, and I'm going to keep banging this drum now. I'm really going to keep banging this drum.
Yeah.
Our match day going home fans are all talk. A very big section of them. A large section of them. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about the man that's in your coffee shop, Graham, who has stood by my side. I have stood by his side at every protest and all the others like yourself that have protested. But all these people that say they want the board out or they want the manager out on social media, in chats, in everything, and they go to the games, they don't do a damn thing. That stadium, I've been saying, was actually quiet. Oh, and Phil P. Phil P is in this room, and I can't leave Phil P out. And I'm trying to see. Phil P is another one that has stood there night and day every single time. But these fans that give it all the big guys, but when it comes down to it and in the pitch, and that stadium, the atmosphere from, remember, we're told, don't make it toxic, support the lads, don't get it toxic. It is toxically silence in that stadium. You've got your chance to sing Ange out.
Yeah.
You've got your chance to put pressure on a manager if that's what you want. You've got a chance to put pressure on the board. We won't leave you outside. We goes round one round and then that's it.
Yeah.
There is silence in that ground. There's more noise in a library, a literal library. I'm not talking the Emirates. Like I said to you, there were parts of that game in Wolves where us at the Scotland Yard, I think there was only about 60 or 70 of us for a 7:30 a.m. kickoff in minus 14 degrees. Singing 62,000, we're louder than you, we're louder than you. The home-going match day fan that run their mouth and say, oh, this on social media or in YouTube chats or whatever. When push comes to shove, they walk into that stadium and don't even support the team. The only time I heard noise is when the referee made a decision that people disagreed with, or if we had a corner. That's it. Otherwise, it's like,
I want to ask this in the chat because it's a bit of, if we're going to, I'll ask you this as well. Did you think that was what did you think of that handball this weekend? What did you think of it?
It's a goal. It's a goal. Listen, if we had scored that, if we had scored that goal, not one Spurs fan would be going,
debate.
No, it's a goal. It's a goddamn goal. If you read the law, if you read the rules, it's a bloody goal. If Spurs had scored that and it got disallowed, there would have been absolute goddamn uproar. Uproar. It's like, come on, listen. It's the rules. It's the rule. Now,
most importantly, Aki, most importantly, what is Joel Linton supposed to do? He's running at full speed. His arm is by his side in its natural position. It was there. It was in natural position. What do you want him to do? Do you want him to go? Do you want him to go to Wickes and buy a hacksaw? Go to Wickes in Wickes. Is there a Wickes in Chingford? Go to Wickes in Chingford. Get a hacksaw and lob your arm off. Lob your arm off. What's he supposed to do? What are you supposed to do?
Just let you know, literally 1 minute ago, Romano has said on YouTube, and it's now on Spurs Express. What a buzzword! What Tottenham have made contact with PSG to understand the conditions. We're understanding the conditions.
Everyone, this is another one. What's your favourite Spurs transfer buzzword?
Understanding
the deal. I love it. Registering your interest. I love this. What's your favourite transfer buzzword? Everyone in the chat.
It's the same every single season. Here we go. Yep, we're listening to this, and then no, we understood them and said, oh, that's a bit steep. We'll go. Listen, I want to get back to what we're talking about and not deflect from a buzzword. I just got it sent to me, so I just thought I'd share it. But that is understanding the conditions is definitely a new one for my now. That's what I call buzzword bingo album that is coming out at the end of January. We've got like I said, social media is the death of everything because you have so many people running their mouth but not willing to do anything that they say, or large sections. When we tried to get Sugar out, when we got Sugar out, there was no social media. There's barely mobile phones. Yet thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people turned up.
Yeah.
And literally, he even said to himself, the fans, I couldn't. It did. Whether you agree, listen, I know there's large sections in that ground that back Levy, defend Levy, and they say, listen, I'm not protesting. I think he's doing a good job. Fair play to you. You stick to your guns and you say what you're going to do. But I can tell you now, if I said to people, right, I'm going to be at the next Leicester City, for instance, protest. Even if Change for Spurs haven't announced it, I'm going to be there protesting. I could probably count 200 people that I guarantee that will turn up. Guarantee. But I will see about 4,000 or 5,000 people on Twitter or chats going, yeah, we got to do this. Yeah, we got to go there. Yeah, what's going on? Now's the time. But then when it comes to it, they won't turn up to protest. They won't sing in the crowd unless they won't make noise. Whether it's the manager or the owner. Oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that. But then you have these fans saying, don't turn it toxic, support the team.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that we support in silence.
Yeah.
We should be called the Charlie Chaplin Stadium. That's what we should get naming rights for Charlie Chaplin and all these other silent actors.
The Charlie Chaplin Arena.
The white wall of silence.
Laurel and Hardy Arena. What actors could Spurs get to sponsor the stadium?
Because I'm sick and tired of just seeing people being all talk.
Yeah.
If you want the manager out, and I will admit I am there, I do want him out. I do still stand by whoever comes in is screwed. Yeah. Whoever comes in is screwed. It doesn't matter.
But at least do a competent job though, Aki, right? Just do a competent job.
Mate, it doesn't. We've had competent managers and they last 18 months to 2 years. So we will be back here. We will be back here because then what will happen if we get another manager and he doesn't get top 4, let's say in 18 months, 2 years, Levy will sack him for not getting top 4. But then if we get another manager in and he doesn't do well or get to Europe, we'll sack him because it doesn't matter. But I can't defend Ange anymore. I simply cannot. Yeah. I have tried more than most. I have been one of the last men standing when it comes to this. And I've said I will never, ever turn on the manager. Like I've said, big up, Brett. This is one of the nice, honestly, top man, buddy. I hope you and your family are good. But it comes to the point. What Phil just said, I know saying it for a joke. When people say we've got to ride out the storm.
Yeah.
Is there an expiry date on this storm?
Yeah.
So if we lose another 7 games, are we just still in the middle of the storm? Don't worry, when we get through this storm, when do people turn around and say, do you know what? I can't. Do I understand people that are still defending Ange? Maybe I do. I just can't. People have their reasons. I just cannot sit here and defend. Like I said, I've said to people many a time on social media and on these chats, it doesn't matter when people turn and realise that Levy is the problem and turn Levy out. I welcome all of them.
Yeah.
All of it. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get to the summit of the mountain. When you get there is when you get there.
Yeah.
And people change their minds. I have tried and I have tried and I have tried. I went on Savage Show last week, the review, and those stats are damning. And it's a results-based business.
Yeah.
And when people go, yeah, but if we had our players in, I'm sorry, have we moved from a results-based business to teams based on the league if their players were fit and we could predict what they do?
It's not just that though, Graham. Our football team is no longer factual evidence. It's philosophy. It's philosophy. If the philosophy doesn't work, you change your philosophy, and it doesn't work. Just straight up, it doesn't work. But a lot of people say, "Oh, but you guys wanted attacking." Well, firstly, I didn't want Conte sacked. I didn't want Conte sacked because I like Conte as a manager. But even I would say the manager did not suit the football club. But I didn't want Conte sacked. Attacking football does not mean defenseless football. It doesn't mean that. The most attacking managers we've ever had always had strong defenders and strong defenses. Even going back to Bill Nicholson, one of the best brands of attacking football we've ever played, probably the best because of the amount of trophies we won, probably the best. We still had Dave Mackay. We still had Danny Blanchflower. We still had players of those ilk that were at the back, strong leaders, Pat Jennings in goal. We still had people that laughed. we still had players that loved to defend. That it's one of the things. It's an Arsenal player, so the Arsenal fans in the chat will love this. It was said on Thierry Henry's thing with Sonny. They won 5-1 or 6-1 in a game. And Jens Lehmann went to the back room and smashed up the changing room. He smashed it up to smithereens. And all the attacking players were like, Jens, why are you complaining? We won 5-1. And he said, no, you guys won 5-1, but I've got a dirty sheet because you didn't defend. That's what I want. I'm a goalkeeper. I pride myself on clean sheets and good saves. We have a team that doesn't care about defending. That's what a proper team does. The defenders they only care about defending. That's what a good defender should do. We don't have defenders. We're playing attackers in defence and telling our defenders to play inverted and up front. Makes no sense.
Mate, nothing at this club makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Nothing at this club, mate. The other thing that I've kind of been thinking about over the last few days, I think I mentioned it on one stream, but I'll mention it here. You look at Spurs, and we're in a January transfer window or a summer transfer window, and you would think in those gaps in between said windows, they are planning for the window coming up and what the manager needs. Yet every time we open a window, that good old word opportunities, the word opportunities comes out. So it got me thinking, isn't it amazing that as soon as someone like 50 Cent announced he's coming on tour, Spurs literally snap him up.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Spurs literally snap him up. Why don't we wait for opportunities for these concerts? Why don't we wait to see if Steps are doing a reunion or Jedward? No. But
when it happens at the stadium,
when it comes to the big events, when they are announced, the very thing Spurs do is go bang. That's going to be at the stadium. We're going to push the boat out. We're going to snap it up. We're going to get it at our stadium, the Tottenham the entertainment arena. We'll snap them up. Your Beyonce's, your Guns N' Roses, your Anthony Joshua's, your Tyson, all signed up, all announced, bang, as soon as it's done.
Yeah.
Because they pushed the boat out to bring in more money because it's going back to the club. Yeah, when it comes to a transfer window with what a manager needs, and they've had all this time to prepare from September to January, and then obviously from January to May or June when the window opens, and then to be told within a week or two, we're looking for opportunities.
Yeah.
Opportunities is what we're looking for. Yeah, when it comes to the entertainment, always the best. Always like snapped up. Your 50 Cent.
What's the movie you like with that guy that had to have the best of everything?
Oh, no, that's Richard Gere. That's Richard Gere in Pretty Woman, isn't it? I have to have the penthouse even though I'm scared of flights because it's the best. Mate, listen, it comes to the point that I've always said when things are best hidden when you hide it in plain sight.
Yeah.
And it is staring people in the face.
Yeah.
I guarantee before the end of this window that another summertime event is launched or announced. Yeah. That some big fight or big band or big artist is coming to perform at the entertainment arena before the month is out. Yeah, we'll be told we are still looking for opportunities and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, what have you been doing?
What have you been doing for 12 months? There should be 2 transfer teams. There should be 2 lots of transfer teams. There should be the team that works on the summer transfer window, and there should be a team that works on the January window. So and they alternate, because when you're in the summer window, that's when they're doing their business. But when you're out, they should be, right, get your stats men in. We're going to watch every single football player in Europe that interests us, which comes up with the data on the computer. We're going to watch them for 12 months. That gives us 12 months to prepare for the transfer window. And the day that the transfer window opens, bang, let's do our job. The same thing can be said about the moment the summer window ends, that the moment the January window ends, they should be looking at the next January window, and they've got 12 months to prepare. Whereas we're looking, opportunities tells you they haven't got a Scooby what's happening. They've not got a Scooby.
2, 3. I'm just counting 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. The fact that Wednesday night, it tells you all you need to know. That's a big worry for me, but fans should be getting behind the team on Wednesday, not refusing to attend. I'm going skiing instead, Paddy. I'm going skiing instead with my lovely Mickey who's in the chat. So it's going to be much more fun. It's going to be much more fun falling over and making an ass of myself. As I do normally. Correct, Graham. Correct.
I have to say, can you just bring Paddy's comment back up so I can... Paddy to a point is completely right that you'd want that to be a full house and a crescendo of noise to get the team to the semi-final. But this is where we've got to. We finally got to a semi-final, but the belief, you got to remember, fans spend so much money getting there. So after a work day, whether you're taking your kids or whatever, whether the travel is all this, it has become, and I'm going to say this now, I even say about going to Scotland Yard, I used to look forward to game day, whether it be a Sunday or whatever day of the week, and go, right, my whole week revolves around getting to Wednesday night for the football and then go and being pumped up Wednesday to go to the game. It's become, Spurs are on, let's go to the Yard. Yeah. It's become a habit.
It's more fun to see your friends at football than it actually is to watch the football. What has been making me go to the football is to see Phil P, to see Ben and Sim, to see Sean when he's there, to see Graham when he's there, to see Matty, to see all the guys. That's more fun than watching the football. It's basically Tottenham Hotspur's a nightclub.
Why do you think? Why do you think when I was there for Spurs Ipswich, I didn't even have a ticket, even though I got offered one for free or a few for free, and I wouldn't step foot in there. But I went there to meet everyone. When I used to live in Israel, I only used to come back once a year, and it was at Christmas time for one or two reasons. One, Christmas Day, I saw on my mum's side of the family. Boxing Day, saw on my dad's side of the family. Then I could spend the rest of the week with my mates, rather than coming at weird times and go and see family here, different parts of the family all over the place. That's what going to Spurs is like now.
Yeah,
I'm back in April. Hopefully, the Nottingham Forest game stays as a Saturday, because if it's a Sunday, I can't make it. But I will be in Tottenham for the Nottingham Forest game to do a repeat of what I did the Ipswich game. Meet up with everyone. Have a focal meeting point.
I haven't seen you for about 4 games, Smithy. I've not seen you there. Where have you been?
Exactly. Look, I stood there for the richest man came to meet us, and it was so bad I completely forgot who he was when he first got there. I had to say, sorry, mate, but he came down. We watched it on his iPhone. With who was I with? With the Tom 81, with my mate Aram, who is best mates with X, and a couple of other people. Who else was we with? Oh, Lisa.
You should have stayed. What you should have done, Aki, you should have gone completely Angie, so you could have treated yourself to an expressions roasting, because that was the funny that I've never laughed so much. That man, whenever I'm feeling down about Spurs, expressions will just make me laugh. He will just make me laugh. What a guy. That was so... Get expressions on the channel. Where's expressions when you need him?
Listen, it's like you said, it has become like... It's going back to Paddy's comment. I think there's a lot of people that are just like, why? Why do I... It's now such a big deal. Just the ticket prices alone. All right, there's concessions for this and blah. But it's come to the point that I've just had a hard day's work or whatever people are doing. It's that depressing month of January after the festive season. Yeah. We're going to play the same football that isn't bearing fruit.
Yep.
I think people are finally having enough. And it's like, you know what? We've supported them. And I'll go back to the AC Milan game with Conte, when Conte demanded that the Spurs fans were the 12th man, and they did solidly for 20 minutes. But the football was open. They're like, what's going on here? There's no heart. There's no... Listen, what I will say, the players that were on display against Newcastle gave everything they got. And that needs to be commended. 100%. but it's the same tactics with the players that can't play in those positions and putting stress on them playing this high-octane football when you're very, very low on where you can't risk injuries. Yeah. You can't risk. I mean, you look at it. This is what I don't get. One of the loudest things out of that stadium is when Bergvall, the substitution, was booed like Lucas Moura.
Yeah.
But then you need to think Lucas Bergvall is one of the only fit players we have.
Yeah.
Yes, he was probably one of the best players on the pitch. I think he was right up there. But then if he had carried on and got injured, it's like we need him to stay fit.
I will say that I agree with you. But why is he taking off an 18-year-old kid? And not Kulusevski, who's basically played every single game and it was obviously shattered.
Mate, this is literally he should have taken back. We are so. This is how bad we are. We are so drained that we can see a player who's running on bare empty, but even on bare empty, he's our best player.
Yeah.
And you can't literally if he had got taken off, and we'd gone 3-1, 4-1 down. See, there you go. That's the thing, Paddy. People are just sick of it. You look at it, and it's been 24. Whether you want to say 24 years, do you know what? I'll make it even shorter. Since this stadium, let's just make it since this stadium. 7 managers, only counting Mason, in 5 years. Just watching the same thing over and over again. Whether you listen, I wasn't a particular fan of Conte's football, but I'd back Conte all the way because he would get you to the promised land if backed.
Yeah.
We hired managers such as with Jose. Well, the Jose Mourinho one just makes me piss myself laughing. That was a pure vanity project because he knew full well what this manager does and his MO based on 2 clubs in England and 2 stints at Chelsea, plus Real Madrid, plus Inter Milan, wins, spends hundreds of millions, fucks off. Well, he's never going to get hundreds of millions. Never, ever. Do you think Jose Mourinho walks into any club and says, give me Matt Doherty?
No.
Because he doesn't. It's never going to work, but yeah, we hire him. Antonio Conte comes in, was never going to get back. He got told he had 150 million war chest, didn't even get to spend it all.
I hate the word war chest.
Oh, mate, listen, we always have a war chest. Daniel Levy just hides the key.
Yeah.
That's all it is. There's always a war chest. It's like a treasure hunt. It's like an Easter egg hunt for the key to open up the war chest. Wait, I bet if we get to the final, then lose, who have had enough will be looking for tickets to attend. Yeah, no, Paddy, on that you are 100% right. On that you are 100% right. I like I said, if I was in England, we got to the final, I was offered a ticket, I still wouldn't go. I still wouldn't go. But I'm very, very, people know when I say something like this, when it comes to this, I will stick to my word. I will not give in. Paddy has got he's got a very, very valid point.
The funny thing is, though, Aki, the ticket to the final at Wembley will be cheaper than the ticket to go to see Spurs at home.
Yeah, it will be.
Unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
It will be. It will be. But that's do you know what it is as well, Paddy? But he's right. He's bang on right, and I can't knock it. I can't deny it. I can't even. But the thing is that's the thing. You get to a final, Spurs will want to be a part of it or whatever. People have said to me, if you had the chance, we're at the Carabao Cup final, would you rather a ticket at Wembley or watch it at the Scotland Yard? And I said every single time I watch it at the Scotland Yard with the hundreds of people I watch it game in, game out with, and celebrate it if we won with them rather than being in London. I just the home attendance speaks volumes, and I was talking with people about it yesterday. When the filth had enough, and you could clearly see they had enough, they had thousands, and I do mean thousands, not attend the game. Don't know how they coordinated, don't know how all of a sudden. But then you look at it, those Arsenal fans, they've been brought up with success, and they demand it. They have very, very high expectations. We have fans that crave it but don't demand it. Now, we haven't been as successful as the filth, and it'll take a long, long time to even get anywhere near there.
Demand success, though, Aki. What we want is we want our team to give it a go.
But when I say success, Ben, I don't mean winning things always. I mean at least competing.
Yeah,
at least
just giving it a go. Give it
At
a
least-
go.
At least see the desire.
At least at the end of the 38 game season and whatever cups we're in, we'll be like, you know what? We tried our best. We weren't quite there, but we gave it our all.
Yeah.
We don't give it our all.
Mate, the final season, like the season before I officially really was watching Spurs non-stop, was the 87, where we came third in the league and got to the final of the FA Cup and semi-final of the League Cup. That's a tremendous season.
Yeah,
that's a tremendous season. Then we got back into the FA Cup in '91 and obviously won it. I think when people say, "So I want to see success at Spurs," success doesn't always mean having to win the league or just trying to see that you've tried to improve from the season prior.
Yeah,
and consistently building. Said it before and I'll say it again.
Yeah,
I've got a very good friend in Seattle, North American. He runs Seattle Spurs. I think he's a big part of Seattle Spurs. And he says to me, and I use this all the time now, North American teams say you're either rebuilding or you're reloading. And rebuilding means you're constantly doing what we're doing, or you're reloading is someone like Liverpool when they have a front three of Firmino, Sane, Salah, but yet they still bring incredible talent.
Yeah.
To help rotate, to boost the squad.
Here's the funny thing now. I still hear Liverpool fans complaining about their owners. And yes, probably FSG are probably not the greatest owners in the world. I don't know much about them. They're damn sight better than ours, and they've given the manager quality players. You can't say that he's not brought in. They've won everything. Gakpo, Diaz, Van Dijk, Alisson's, Mane's, Salah's. Also,
mate, they've done every. Mate, they've won every tournament.
Yeah,
every tournament they've been in.
I would absolutely do anything to have owners that are like the FSG at this moment in time. They are so much better than the owners we've got. It's not even a comparison.
It's not. It's not even a comparison, and they're going nuts at the moment because of the 3 contracts that are expiring, and I can understand them being annoyed because it's got to that point.
If they don't want to sign the deal, though, Aki, they don't want to. You can't just give Mohamed Salah 500 grand a week. You can't give him that money. He's one of the best footballers to ever play in the Premier League.
Yep.
Let's get it right. He's one of the best players, elite level footballer. He's not worth 500 grand a week. Trent Alexander-Arnold wants.
Well, do you know what?
He wants. I have to say, when it comes grand a week. But he's not worth 400 grand a week. He's not worth it.
Ben, no one is. But when you look at it, and I can't remember if it was Jamie Carragher or Gary Neville that said it yesterday or a few days ago. If he signs a 400 grand a week deal,
yeah,
that's for 3 years. Apparently, it's what he wants or what.
Yeah.
So that works out about 60 million for that contract for 3 years.
It's a lot of money.
But the thing is, to try and replace a Salah.
Yeah,
you're going to spend more than 60 million.
But you're going to spend.
Whoa. Then you're going to have to pay his wages.
Yeah.
Whereas Salah is a sure thing. Salah is a sure thing. You give him 400 grand for 3 years, Mo Salah will carry on being Mo Salah.
He's 32. He's 32.
Mate, it doesn't matter if you say. Look at his stats year on year. Sonny is declining, unfortunately, because we've overplayed him or whatever. Liverpool haven't overplayed him. They've had the quality to rotate him, bring him in, and he always turns up. Always turns up in the big games. So when it comes to giving him 60 million over 3 years and keeping him, or having to spend more than 60 million to find a replacement on him, plus his wages, then find out is he going to be able to do what Salah does, I give Salah 400 grand a week immediately. Immediately.
It's not 400 grand a week, though.
It's 400.
It's 500.
That's 400.
But that's 500 before tax.
Mate, I'd still pay it.
500 before tax.
I'd still pay it. Unfortunately, listen, wages are. It's a
lot of money. Yeah, and then you have to do it for him, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and who's the third player? Is it Van Dijk?
Well,
let's say it's 60 for Salah, then it'll be 50 for Trent, and it will be 50. That is quick maths. Quick maths is that's That's laying out at least 170 million.
But mate, they win the Premier League. They carry on doing what they do in the Champions League and regularly getting to finals or winning it. They make that back. Salah in shirt sales alone. Not saying he's the equivalent to Sonny, but most Salah around the world.
Yeah, he gets a lot of shirt sales.
Mate, you got to look at it that way. Would you rather, literally, mate, if you said to me right now, 60 million for a 3-year contract for Mo Salah, or throw the dice and hope you find someone, I'm giving Mo Salah the money.
But at least it's free players. That's the problem. Which one do you say no to? Do you not give the money to Van Dijk?
Well, I think Trent has gone. I think Trent it's gone. So you're looking at 2.
It's a very difficult one, but at least they've given it a go, Aki. They've replaced Sadio Mane with players. They've spent 100 million on Darwin Núñez. They've spent a load of money on Diaz, who's quality. They've spent a lot. Cody Gakpo's fantastic.
But let's also
Jota as well. They spent a lot of money and a lot of money on wages. Whereas look at teams like us. We've got 4 players over 100 grand a week.
Hey, listen, they've rebuilt Anfield whilst being there rather than building a new. They've done everything right. Then you look at it. We could have kept Harry Kane for the final year and done exactly what they're doing with only 1 player. But no, Spurs have to cash in because we're greedy bastards.
Happy New Year, buddy.
We have to cash in rather than say, no, Harry, you're going to stay for the last year.
I like Liverpool fans and I love their love of their football club, but this will never, ever be true. Henry was an elite. He is the elite of the elite in terms of the Premier League. Salah is up there.
I was having this.
Henry.
No, listen, for me, I agree. Henry, to me, is the greatest player to ever play in the Premier League. But Angus saying that, technically, you have to look at it. Angus, he has won he's gone on and won the Champions League with Liverpool. He has consistently, he's been there the same amount. I think he's been there longer than Henry was at Arsenal now.
Yeah.
To me, Henry is unbelievable. I hate saying it, but Thierry Henry was devastating.
Yeah.
In everything. But you cannot, just because you're not, you have to look at you have to look at it and say, Mo Salah has hit XYZ amount of goals every single season for Liverpool. Assist-wise, he's won the FA Cup, he's won the Carabao Cup, he's won, I don't think Henry won the League Cup with Arsenal. He's now level on goals with Thierry Henry. 1 more goal, he goes above Thierry Henry. You have to have a bit of balance here. I still agree. If someone said to me right now, you have Thierry Henry on tip-top form or you have Mo Salah on tip-top form, I pick Henry every single time. But the comparisons are there and it needs to be this. It's not as cutthroat or clear if you start weighing up achievements and everything. But to me, it'll be Henry. Big up, Greg. Hope to see you in Toronto real soon, buddy.
I'm going to say something very controversial and it's going to really annoy. I think the best striker to ever play in English football is Jimmy Greaves. Personally, I think he's the best striker to ever play in English football. The closest thing, not that I'm saying he's on this level, I think the closest thing to a Jimmy Greaves in the modern era is Thierry Henry. He's the closest thing. Mm-hmm. Thierry Henry is that good. The pace he had, he would just go past people like it was nothing. Goal. But still, Jimmy Greaves is the best striker to ever play in English football, and you will never get anything. That's because I'm biased as a Tottenham fan, but Jimmy Greaves.
I will never get into debates like this because I can't possibly comment without seeing. I've only watched videos of him. Listen, the way I hear my family and fans of that era speak about the great man, obviously he is right up there. But I've always said I will only judge players.
Yeah.
That's why when I always speak, listen, it wouldn't matter about Gazza because Gazza is Gazza to me.
Yeah.
But when people say Glenn Hoddle, I completely understand it. I completely get it. But I caught about 6 games of Glenn Hoddle live. 6.
No, you're not listening to me, Phil. I said Thierry Henry is almost the closest thing you can get in the modern era. If Jimmy Greaves played now, he would score 70 goals a year, guaranteed. guaranteed he would score 70 goals a year. He would score how many goals a year? Jimmy Greaves, 45 goals a year on those muddy pitches. Jimmy Greaves would score 70 goals a year and he would be untouchable.
Yeah, this is the thing. When people say this, Jimmy Greaves was also smoking drunk.
George Best as well. He was doing it whilst being drunk as well. At half time.
70 goals is a bit of a push, but he would.
He would.
Listen, Jimmy Greaves.
70 goals a year.
Yeah.
I'm batting for Jimmy Greaves here. That's my guy. Never seen him play, but yeah, Letizia is fantastic.
Letizia, unbelievable.
Greaves would bang in a hattie each half and then switch to the centre back for the second half. And then he'd have a pint. He'd have a pint at a half time. Henri was close to making me an Arsenal fan, but nah. Isn't it Greavesy? But I was challenging. I don't rate. This is because we know why.
You speak about the drinking. There's a story that Gazza always tells that there was a half time in a cup final. I can't remember who it was again, probably Celtic or whoever it was. And they went in at half time, and Walter Smith had said to him, Gazza, have you had a drink today? Or yesterday? Yeah. He went, no, boss, I'm sober. And they said, go up to the players' lounge now and go get a double or something.
Yeah.
He literally went up and had a double whiskey, came back out, and they won the game, and he scored all the goals, and they won the final. Yeah. That's it's a different world. It's a different world now, unfortunately, whatever way you want to look at it, because you don't have these maverick players anymore.
Yep. Wayne Rooney was a freak. He was an absolute freak, how good he was at his age. It was Hearts.
There you go. Cheers, Angus.
At Celtic Park. Okay. But yeah, what's everyone's favourite player? Who does everyone think is the greatest footballer ever, in their opinion? You don't have to have any reason. Personally,
are you saying Spurs or in the world?
Anyone.
It's Messi.
No, I'm going to change this actually. Who is your favourite football player ever? Any player you can pluck out of history and put into your team?
It's Messi, but I will say the most exciting player never to have played for Spurs that I just adored watching. I mean, I'd watch it, is Ronaldinho.
Yeah, loved him.
Ronaldinho was simply breathtaking to watch. Absolutely incredible. Let me just go to the bathroom. I'll be back in 1 sec.
Pele is unbelievable. Ronaldinho is my favourite. Zidane was quality. I love Jermaine Defoe. Ronaldinho. Schweinsteiger was very, very good. Ronaldinho. Maradona is the best ever, in my opinion. Good shout. Sheringham. Bobby loves Sheringham. Sheringham was great. Suarez is the third best player of our generation. Goals, assists, and trophies behind Messi and Ronaldo. Suarez was very good. Ronaldinho, John Charles, the UK Maradona. Big up Paul Stewart. That is the correct answer. Big up Paul Stewart. That's my guy. And there he is, the demigod. Praise be to Paul Stewart. Praise be to Sergio Aurier, the best right back the league has ever seen. My favourite player, absolutely loved watching at Arsenal, was Santi Cazorla. Santi Cazorla was quality. He was quality footballer. Eric Dyer, Stewart. Probably Messi, but my favourite of all time was Greaves, Gazza. My favourite player of any era was Diego Armando Maradona. I loved Marco Reus, was too loyal for his own good. Good old Sergio Aurier. Maradona was before Maradona is a cheating beep. Gazza in his pomp was amazing. Big up Paul Stewart. Like players that actually changed the club's perception, like Maradona. Yes, he went to Napoli and made them champions. George Best, Mahrez was very good as well. Best I watched was watching Messi at Wembley. That was a pleasure. What a pleasure that was watching that. David Kurt was a close second.
Oh, what's up, mate? I remember watching David Kerslake. Kevin Scott. My good God, what a defense.
Paolo
I'm being very
Tramontani.
sarcastic. I'm being very sarcastic.
Most
David
underrated
Kerslake.
players. Mahrez, yeah, quality. When Paul Stewart moved into midfield, he became a machine. Yes.
Yep, he did.
Loved Pat Jennings. El Pibe, Valderrama. Quality hairdo as well.
Paul Stewart actually got me into a lot of trouble. Got me grounded for 3 months. Got me grounded for 3 months at home because if people back in the day that remember Paul Stewart, he scored a goal against Coventry. He scored a goal against Coventry, where we were 2-0 down. We won 3-2, and Gary Lineker scored the other two. Where a throw-in was made, it bounced. Paul Stewart thied it over someone, and then volleyed a rocket into the top right-hand corner. And literally, the old channel St. Greaves, or the old show on Channel 3, St. Greaves, he did a goal of the season for each team, and that was Paul Stewart was ours. And I was that year? I was about 11 years old, and there was a premium rate number to call, like 0898 or 0891, whatever. Mate, I memorised it off by heart.
If we ever get Paul Stewart on this channel, it's still the massive channel's goal is to get Paul Stewart on this channel at some point. We're going to get you on, Aki, and you're going to tell him.
Oh, mate, I dialed this number so many times. Obviously, the phone bills came in then quarterly, and I'd spent over £350 voting for Paul Stewart.
Yeah.
So to say my parents went absolutely batshit crazy because of that, I was in a lot of trouble. Thanks to Paul Stewart.
Good to see you, Ryan. Good to see you, buddy. It was just a joy to witness Hugo Sanchez quality. Most unlucky footballers, always getting injured before the Euros or World Cup. Yeah. Valderrama, along with Edgar Davids, two most recognisable players. Jennings and Peter Schmeichel, best keepers. Romario, Batistuta, Batigol, and R9.
Was unbelievable.
A lot of footballers were brought down by their mentality, like Hazard. Yes, they were. You get Mabs on You Got My Number. Yes, I do. Ozzy in Victory movie. Yes, Escape to Victory. What a footballer this man was. Ricardo Kaka. What a player. Santi Cazorla was class. It was what a footballer that guy was. We've actually done quite a good football show today, Aki. What have we done?
Mate, we've spoken. Well, we started off about the manager. Then I went nuts at the fans.
Yeah.
Then we kind of went to this kind of best player kind of thing. It's always a recipe for success.
Gary Doherty trumps all footballers. The ginger Ronaldo. Yes, the ginger Pele. I remember him going to the Bald Hind in Chickwell. Good man.
Mate, that was a great pub. That was a great pub.
The Bald Hind in Chigwell.
Mate, right next to the Shell petrol garage.
Yeah. Yes.
Mate, that was on Fenpiece Road, mate. That's where my auntie used to live. The auntie that you met. Yeah. She used to live at that top end of Fenpiece Road.
Yeah.
I used to get so drunk in that pub. Then we used to go down to the Maypole further down. And then right down at the bottom of the road, there was a Witherspoons. I can't remember what the Witherspoons was called. Oh, my God. Some of the most funniest sessions I've had has started at the Bald Hind.
The Bald Hind. It's no longer there. It's been knocked down. It's now
a block of flats.
Yeah, block of flats.
Who would have thought?
Block of flats. Same Paddy's nickname's the Ginger Pele. Yes, it is.
Mate,
Modern era Bale at Spurs and Real was amazing. Imagine getting back to talking about sod that. Bored of it. Zico, Eder, Socrates, mustard. Bale was the most successful British player of all time. Yes, he is. Great pub in the Maypole.
I still can't get. I have to say, Chris, I still can't get over that fucking profile picture. I've seen Chris and met Chris many a time face to face and love him, but seeing him with hair is just like it was kind of the shock you got when you saw Ben from We Are Tottenham TV when he first shaved his hair. Seeing Chris with that wig or that lovely lock of hair from his youth is mind-boggling. Is absolutely mind-boggling. Oh, mate, Angus has just mentioned one. Kenny Dalglish. What a... My good God. What a... Jesus Christ. He was
Diego Forlan, footballer he was. Edson Cavani as well. If you put that in the south, Edson Cavani was quality before he went to Man United.
Mate, even mate, listen, we all know what he was like on the pitch sometimes and off the pitch. Luis Suarez.
Suarez
was absolutely devastating.
Yeah. He was a one-man army, he was. One-man army. All the players, managers. Suarez, they kicked him out of Barcelona.
Oh, Ryan G. Ryan G has just said one of my favourite players.
Baggio. We're going to get
my God, Roberto Baggio.
Yes, he was. David Ginola. It's a wig, but in my teens, I had long hair and a ponytail. Great stuff. Crespo was a great player. Roberto
Chris,
Baggio.
when I'm back in April, you need to bring that wig. You need to bring that wig to the coffee house. Bloody hell, that did go quick.
It's bloody quick, isn't it? Forlan at Atletico was, yes, he was. Tommy Burns played, unbelievable player. Baresi, Stuart Nethercott, tough
the
time.
Worst player I've ever seen. The worst player I've ever seen.
Big up Calamari, what a player.
I love how the chat goes. We went from Stuart Nethercott to Phil P saying Maldini.
Yeah.
If that isn't one end of the spectrum to the other, I don't know what is.
Gianfranco Zola. Alessandro Del Piero. Those Italian players were unbelievable. Maldini was class. Baresi, Nesta, second player. Now that's a tough one. Is Some at Lowell. The Karate Kid, Eric Cantona. Shut up, Angus. Zico. Berbatov was class. I used to love Berbatov. He was an old school footballer. Berbatov, great name as well.
Berbatov was watching him.
Hello.
Watching Dimitar Berbatov, he's in an elite level for me in one thing, that when he got the ball, like I said for ages, I remember back in the day, and Berbatov is probably the most recent one where when a player got the ball, the ground just grew in anticipation that something incredible was about. Like this guy that could literally have the ball with three people around him in 5 seconds. It could be through three people in the roof of the net. That guy could do things with a football that were just unbelievable. What a player he was.
Famous Spurs fan, Dennis Bergkamp.
Mate, unbelievable. Listen, Dennis Bergkamp was a visionary.
Yeah.
Unbelievable player. Unbelievable.
Stuart Nethercott to Maldini. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Totti, Baggio, Ortega.
Totti.
Mate,
who just said Jimmy Floyd? Who just said Jimmy? Mate, I loved Jimmy Floyd. I thought
monster.
I loved him during the time. Him and Robbie Fowler, especially Robbie, for me, were Jimmy Floyd was, and he just loved scoring against Arsenal.
I really want to start. I miss that then. Every team back in those days had a hitman. I want the days of hitmen back. I'm fed up of this whole team bollocks and always playing as he in. Nah, I want Jermaine Defoe's. I want Diego Forlan's. I want Henry's. I want Zola's. I want hitmen back. The people just
you go back to that. These people were hitmen because, and I'll say as well, that Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank Idika Johnson partnership had everything.
Yeah,
it was. You go back, and partnerships was where it was at. You look at those players. Robbie Fowler always had. There's partnerships that just work, and Johnson and Hasselbank were absolute carnage for a while. Absolute carnage.
Yakubu. Berbatov had a better touch than Bergkamp. Berbatov was sublime. Vincent Janssen, Ruud Gullit.
What a
Hadji was class after mate,
but you know what? I have to say Hadji was incredible for Banjo, but my obsession, I loved, and I mean absolutely idolized Gica Popescu.
Yeah,
I absolutely adore. I wish we had kept him for longer. Gica Popescu, Tom will remember, other people will remember. Gica Popescu was insanely good.
Yep.
Insanely good.
Yeah.
Adored him.
Stojkovic was great. Remember, even Adrian Mutu was quality before he got done for coke.
Yeah.
Mirham helped change football. Connoisseur, yes, we're connoisseurs here. Perna Bulcano, Bobby Mins, we will never forget.
Oh Jesus!
F me. I didn't expect. Yeah, we know rather.
Honestly, from the moment we signed him, obviously that was when we had the famous 5 and Ozzy was going nuts.
Yeah.
But Gica Popescu came in, and if we had, do you know what? If we had Gica Popescu right now, we'd be flying. He was, mate. Gica Popescu was just exceptional, and obviously he scored a winner against the Filth, in a 1-0 win. He was unbelievable, so good. People talk about Michael Carrick, and obviously he worked with us for so long and went on to do better things at United.
Klinsmann.
I think Gica Popescu right up there with Carrick, right up there. Popescu was awesome.
But on that note, Aki, unfortunately, we've got to end the show there. Unfortunately, because it's been our hour and we've got to do some work. But what are we doing on Tottenham on Tour this week? I'm going skiing Wednesday, but I will certainly be around to put some things up.
I do plan to get a few pre-recorded things done this week. It needs to be done. We need to get some content back out there.
Yeah.
I might be calling on a few people, say, hey, do you fancy doing something? Oh, what's the player? I might reach out to Tom or to Phil P and say, listen, you want to chill for half an hour and get something out there? Yeah. I've got some other things lined up. We will be putting content out, but people, it's just after games recently when I have wanted to do a reaction, I haven't because I've been so pissed off. But we need to get content out, and content will be coming, I assure you.
Yeah, great stuff. But thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We are going to now redirect to Mr. Perch's Football Manager stream. So I want everyone to go into Perch's chat and put in Perch's chat, no chair, no clue. No chair, no clue. Thank you all so much for watching today's show. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We will be back tomorrow for Brewing Bollocks, probably with myself, Bobby, and Coos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it away, Aki, and let's get this.
And as always, Levy out.
And yes, what the cough is brewing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Ciao for now.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned where I had sometimes played chess. And when I'm out, I'm looking for that vintage fling. But all complexions that I adore, so hard to find, these seem impossible to score. So I dream on